Hi,
Hello.
my name is Lawrence Wheatley and I'm working with Empower DC. So let me ask you, how long have you been working or been connected with Empower DC?
I've been connected with Empower DC for 5 to 6 years now.
Okay. And what is your role here at Empower DC?
I am a member. Today I am here to conduct interviews. I'm a trained anthropologist. I've been interviewing people now for the last, decade or so.
And I understand you have a new book out that was just published this year. What is the name of that book?
The name of my book is African Americans and Gentrification in Washington, D.C. The subtitle is Race, Class, and Social Justice in the Nation's Capital.
My name is Miss India Fuller.
Nice.
India Taboo Fuller. Yes.
Nice to meet you, Ms. Fuller. And tell me what year you were born, please.
I was born December 8th, 1980.
Okay, and where do you live?
Well, I currently live at 215 K Street Southwest. We used to live at 201 M Street Southwest, apartment 23. That's when I first came down here. I was staying with my mother. It was probably like 94 when I came down here and stayed with her. We were staying in an apartment building on the second floor.
And that was a part of this housing development when
Yes,
you described.
Greenleaf.
Okay.
Yes.
And so now you're still in Greenleaf, but just a
Yes.
different address.
Yes, it's on
Okay.
K Street.
All right.
Corner.
Can you tell me what your first impressions of Greenleaf were when you first came here?
My first impressions of Greenleaf, it was kind of interesting. It was like a community that it seemed like families was, kind of like sticking together, helping each other out. Especially in the M Street Court where we was living at. Then we moved around K Street, it was kind of a different kind of thing. My mother tried to, carry on the same traditions, to sticking together and helping out in the community, and as far as like helping with the children and feeding them and anything as far as like counseling and stuff that she could do for them. Thanksgiving and Christmas was sort of like her best things that she liked to do as far as like feeding the homeless. We did at the Randall shelter, we had did a dinner down there. Probably it was just before it closed. And then they moved over to St. Elizabeth Grounds. So just before they did that, we had did one dinner there. So the St. Judah Spiritual Baptist Church, we had came down and fed them, and it was real nice.
And that's what you mean when you say community sticking together,
Yes,
doing things.
yes, helping out the homeless people. Anybody that's in need, because a lot of people in the city be displaced and in need of a place to stay. And
Do you feel that there is a strong sense of community here where you are now, currently?
I believe that it is a strong sense of community if we stick together. It seems like after my mother had passed, it was kind of like sad, because she was gone, and the spirit of her was gone. Somebody that you can always come to get help with anything that you needed.
So it sounds like your mother was she was a leader in the community. That's what you're
Yes.
describing.
Yes, and she passed away of cancer. Yes,
I'm very sorry to hear that.
yes.
Would you say some folks have emerged into her role as a leader? Are there other leaders that have taken her
I'm
place?
starting to see that some people are trying to do that in the community. A lot of people, they don't know their rights, and I'm still learning a lot of this stuff too myself, That's why we have to stay active with the Empower DC, far as getting public housing to, do repairs and stuff within our community because they have been lacking.
Speaking of that, what is it that you would say is lacking or missing in the community?
Well, when we try to reach out to them as far as like doing repairs in our unit, it takes them a long time to do it. You really have to call like down to the council office and the mayor's center and go down there and do hearings and speeches and stuff like that in order for them to even come out to do anything. And to me, it shouldn't take all that.
What is at the root of this neglect? Sounds like you're describing neglect of the community, and why is that neglect taking place, in your opinion?
Well, I guess it's a lack of resources. That's what they say. Lack of resources. Lazy workers. They take a long time to respond to the control numbers. You shouldn't have to call down to 1133 when you can simply go to your rental office and make your complaint and tell them what is going on in your unit. It should take them at least 24 hours to address the issue, I believe.
What are your views about the surrounding areas, the areas surrounding Greenleaf? How would you describe that or your relationship with the surrounding residential?
Well, I see a lot of changes that's going on around in the community. And they're trying to do a soccer stadium, and they say they're going to do a mixed population of people. So I think our community is already mixed of population of people. Far as what's going on in the community, well, they're trying to raise the rent and push our people out. And I don't think that's fair, because we only make a certain amount of money, and it's not fair to us.
You can keep talking. If you had more to say. So they're about to raise the rent.
Yes.
And what's gonna be the impact of that on you?
Well, a lot of people will be displaced. You have to do background checks, credit checks, and that's not giving a person a time frame to get yourself prepared for. If they say today you have to up and leave or apply for another apartment, who has money saved up? Nobody. Especially when you're on a fixed income. A lot of people that is living in these public housing, they on fixed income. I know I'm working. I receive SSI. So my budget is just limited. I was in school, and I have to take out loans. So that's put me in a credit situation. So if I even apply for these upcoming condos, I wouldn't even be qualified according to the city's budget. So how can I afford to live? So public housing to me is very essential.
What can you guys do? Is there something that can be done? Are there solutions to saving your housing?
Well, if we can get them to actually give us amount of money that the government or high tax dollars that that we invest, and they utilize and purchase the proper materials, get the proper workers in here and do the proper repairs in a timely frame, not wait until like 60 or 90 days, or if you have to call downtown or go over top of their head, then we probably can get somewhere with this.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, because it takes them a long time. I know I had an issue with my refrigerator going out, so they didn't want to even reimburse me for my refrigerator going out. I had to call down the 311 number, and in order for them to even give me a refrigerator into my unit, and it was a second hand, and I know that I refused a second hand refrigerator because I was like, I don't want to take on somebody else's. It could be roaches or bed bugs or anything that could be. That's why I refused that.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want to do around my baseboard or anything. I called in and I had several complaints about my unit, and my ceiling is leaking, and that's coming from my next door neighbor's toilet.
Yeah. Where'd you go to school?
I was going straight.
Mm-hmm. And then before that?
UDC, I took my GD.
And then, I mean, have you been here since high school and junior high school?
I had dropped out,
Okay.
and I took my GD at UDC.
Okay. Where did your mom work? And where are you working now? What kind of work did your mom do?
Okay, my mother, she was doing like home health aid
Mm-hmm.
for module homes. That's over there in Northwest.
Okay. And where are you working? Because you're getting ready to go off to work now.
Yes, Boston Market. Yeah, part-time, yes.
And do you remember having many, I guess you kind of referred to community celebrations, things that brought the community together. You referred to some things like that.
Yeah, like when kids had graduations and they, the community tried to come together and have like graduation parties and stuff to, support the kids going to school and college and things of that nature. We try to stick together. I know when we were staying in M Street, that's what we was doing. We trying to carry on the tradition now, but some adopted and some will not.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. That wasn't painful, was it?
My name is Shantell Walker.
And when did you move to Greenleaf, Shantell?
Well, I was born in Greenleaf.
What year were you born?
1985 is the year I was born.
And you've been living here?
Ever since then,
Wow.
yes.
And what about your family prior to that? Your parents, were
Yes,
they?
my mother, grandmother, aunts, uncles are from Greenleaf. So I have a lot of family within Greenleaf.
Wow, so you would describe yourself as third generation then?
Yes.
All right. Can you give us your impressions of Greenleaf? What do you think about your community?
I think my community is very family oriented. I wouldn't mind my children going outside just to play because I know that they're safe, and I know that you have other parents who would actually look out for them if anything may happen, or if I'm looking for my child, okay, your child's over here and they're over here playing with my children. So I would say it's very family oriented.
That's beautiful. So there's a lot that you appreciate about your community then.
Yes.
Are there any things that are missing or things that you find problematic or that you don't appreciate about the community?
I would say there are some things that I don't appreciate. I would say we do have some very young-minded knuckleheads in the community who sometimes don't necessarily make it feel safe for the children to run around and play. But majority of the time I do appreciate it because, like I said, we always have those parents out there and other members of the community who do look out for each other. no matter what. So I do appreciate that.
Is there anything that's missing?
I think that us coming together more will be missing. Even though we are like family oriented around the neighborhood and everything, I believe that we all should come together a little bit more than we do now. So I would say that's missing.
How do you feel about the overall surrounding communities, the areas around Greenleaf? Folks that are not from here. What is your relationship with them? What's the community's relationship with them?
Well, my relationship with others who are not in our community, it seems cordial, appropriate at times. So
Okay.
no problems there.
Are there any divisions between people of different racial backgrounds, of different economic backgrounds?
I mean, of course there are. I mean, it is kind of obvious. Like the other communities, I would say the Navy Yard or the Courtyard, the new buildings that they build, I feel that they're trying to separate Greenleaf from them. Yes, it's color, because there's a lot of white people there, and I feel that they're trying to take all of the people in Greenleaf community, which is majority of black people, out of the equation. So, yeah, I do feel it's a little diversity.
Yeah, so because there's a lot of plans for development.
Yes.
And then what are your views about that?
I just think it's kind of wrong. I think it's just trying to push all of us out of the equation. I mean,
Can you say like what is trying to put you out?
I believe the developers are trying to push our community, Greenleaf community, out of the way and build up new communities for white people and people who can afford to live in $200,000 apartments and townhomes and stuff. And I just think that they're trying to push people who are low income out and just separate us from them. I guess they feel that we're not good enough. We're not good enough to live in this neighborhood, and they want to take this neighborhood over.
Is there another way to do development, or what would you like to see? What type of development do you envision that would be, the right type of development, or something that everybody could benefit from?
I would hope that they develop a better community, better housing for us, and at least implement some type of program that we can get into to at least try to be able to keep the new development if they were to develop a development for us. I would hope they would have a program for us to be able to understand and know how to upkeep our community and be able to live in a community with others.
Where did you go to school?
I went to school at Madame Bowen Elementary.
Okay, and then from there to what elements?
Jefferson Junior High, and from there I went to a high school in Pennsylvania.
And what can you tell a little bit about the your work history and your family's work history? What kind of work did y'all do in DC?
Well, the work that I did or do, I did a lot of medical work in hospitals. I was a medical receptionist, so I did a lot of checking in patients and scheduling appointments for patients. My aunt, she's in security management. My mom, she's the president council for Greenleaf Gardens.
What's your mom's name?
Greenleaf Walker.
Oh, okay. Did you meet her downstairs?
Yeah.
Short hair?
Pink.
Yeah, yeah.
jacket.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna interview her next.
That's about it.
And do you remember having community celebrations in this community?
Yeah, all the time. In the 90s, we used to have little family day block parties. You know, everyone came out and reunited with each other and had fun with the kids and adults. It was nice. So we used to have those every year.
And you envision a future for yourself here. You would like to stay in this community.
Yes, I would like to stay in this community as long as I can.
And how does it make you feel to know that the DC government wants to demolish Greenleaf?
It's a little sad. You know, like I said, I grew up here. Been here since 1985 until now. And I know everyone here. We all know each other. We're all like family. So it would make me kind of sad for them to destroy it because, you know, like I said, we're family. And it would be a sad thing to see it go.
And last question is, what do you think can be done to save the house and to prevent that from happening?
I think everyone in the community needs to come together and protest it. I mean, if all of us come together and let them know that we're not for it, we don't want this community to be torn down, then I believe our voices will be heard.
My name is Francine Lawrence.
And when were you born, Ms. Lawrence?
July the 8th, 1970.
Were you born here in Washington, D.C.?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you move to Greenleaf?
I resided in Greenleaf Gardens since 1991, when I was 21.
Oh, okay. Where did you or your family live before coming to Greenleaf?
I'm originally from Northeast, 12th Street Northeast, Merlin Avenue.
And let me just ask you where you went to school as well, junior high, elementary high, like.
Elementary school was in Southeast Alabama Avenue, Stanton Elementary School. Junior high school, 15th and Constitution Avenue, Elliott Junior High School.
Mm-hmm.
And Dunbar Senior High School, New Jersey, 1301 New Jersey Avenue Northwest.
Okay. And did your family live here too? Your parents, or did they live in Greenleaf as well? You came here with them?
My mom, her name is Gwendolyn Lawrence. She resided with me until her passing in February 1999.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What did your mom do?
She did construction work for like 28 years.
And what kind of work are you doing?
Right now I'm in between jobs looking for work, but I've worked with the mentally challenged and disabled and drove transportation for the District of Columbia.
So what were your impressions of Greenleaf when you first moved here?
Everyone was very nice. It's a good community, a lot of kids. Overall, I mean, my second project that I've stayed in, this was the most exciting and clean that I can say. Just not a lot of activities for the kids except for the boys club.
Do you feel that people have a sense of community here?
Yeah, they do. Well, we all do.
And how was that apparent? What are the reflections of that?
Like today, the program that's going on today for the community and the kids, everyone always gets together. There's a gentleman that's officially from Southwest, Paul Taylor, that works for DC Park and Rec. He interacts with the kids. Hudge, a gentleman named, I don't know his real name, but he goes by the name of Hudge. And Horace that worked at the boys club, did the baseball team, basketball, football. So I mean, it's a lot of community activity, but not a lot of like things that could come into the community by outside providers and things like that we should have. Because basically down here all we have is the pool and DC Park and Rec, and this center that's right here.
So can you be more specific about what some of the things you feel are missing from the community?
More activities for the kids to get out into the community, you know, to travel, to learn different things, different cultures and stuff like that. And being as though, you know, a lot of us that live here, it's subsidized living. So, you know, some work, some don't work, you know, by maybe disabilities or something like that. But it's not a lot of help outside of the community, you know, for the kids, you know, to get out.
What are your feelings about the people that live in the surrounding area, surrounding Greenleaf? What is their relationship to the people of Greenleaf?
I can speak on as far as the park, how they just redid Lanesbury Park with the, you know, the dog park and the growing, the vegetable garden and things like that. But I can't really speak on like a lot of outsiders, you know, coming into communities to help the community. I mean,
Do you have any sort of, does the community have a relationship with the people that?
outside. I mean, yeah, I mean, pretty much so. I mean, we all, it's one area we have to live and commute, you know, communicate with each other, and then we have like our shopping center up the street, you know, our grocery stores and stuff like that. So, I mean, no issues. I found no issues, you know, from people that don't live inside the community or outside the community, you know, clash or anything like that, no.
Does it feel like a united community or a divided community? And I'm speaking broadly, not just within Greenleaf.
I mean, united. I mean, yes, united.
Okay. And is there any sort of stereotype views that people who don't live in Greenleaf have toward people who live in public housing, or divisions between homeowners and renters?
No, not that I know of, no.
Okay, and what are your feelings about the development currently taking place in Southwest?
I think it's a good look for the community. Like I said, to bring more things in to the community as far as trying to take away, you know, from it. I think it's a good thing.
And what about the government's plans to demolish Greenleaf? What are your feelings about that?
I disagree with that. I don't agree with it. It's a growing community. It's been here for years. I can't say exactly when, but maybe since like the 1920s or 30s or something like that. But we could use a new look, you know, refresher up for the community. But I wouldn't like to see it go. No.
And what is that you think can be done? Is there something, you know, that can be put in place, or actions that people can take to stop that from happening?
More of the community coming to the meetings, the council meetings, and, you know, standing up speaking on how they feel and what they can bring to because I think if everyone was to get together and come to these meetings and try to come to some, you know, solution for outside help, because everyone in the community can help each other too, but it's outside help that we need. Like, I feel as though the mayor should make a presence, you know, to what's going on in these different communities and stuff like that. And as far as the kids' education too, you know, a lot of kids, I mean, just because you're from a Project Welland or what per se they call the hood, there's a lot of smart kids that came out of Southwest. And there's a lot of smart kids that's here now that, you know, don't have the necessities or the help, you know, to get to further better them in life. So, I mean, more of the parents need to come out. The seniors, most of the seniors that's been here longer than us, need to come out, you know, and speak. And like I said, we need to get our mayor down here, city council. Yeah.
And what's your opinion about why those things have not happened yet?
Maybe not enough petitions being, you know, signed, and not enough meetings, and not enough people coming to speak out or reaching out for help.
Hello, my name is Lavon Moran.
When were you born?
1972.
And when did you move to Greenleaf?
I moved to Greenleaf 2 years ago.
Okay.
Okay.
Where were you living prior to that?
Prior to that, I was a native of DC. So I didn't grow up in the Southwest neighborhood. I grew up in Northeast, which changed to Southeast, and then I changed to Northwest because I graduated Northwest. Well, I graduated high school Northwest, which is the high school for this area, but maybe soon to change, which was Wilson High School.
Oh, okay. You went to Wilson?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. And where'd you go prior to that? Where'd you go to school?
I went to Francis Junior High School before they became a middle school.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Minor Elementary School
Okay.
before they rebuilt it and so forth.
And are you currently working?
Yeah, I work part-time, but I'm not a full-time employee because I have 8 children. So one is grown, but the rest there's middle school, transitioning to high school, basically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you've only been here for a few years, so where were your parents from?
My mom's generally from North Carolina. My dad never really was in my life, so he's around, but I really don't have a relationship with him. So it was basically my mom.
Okay. And when you first arrived to Greenleaf, what were your impressions?
Whoa.